everyone, Josh from Practical Theism here. God's big picture. What is the purpose behind creation? I mean, what really is the bigger picture that God had in mind when He created humanity? Here's my thought on the topic. God is love, right? He created us with a free will because the good of choice to love is really true love in its purest form. You can never coerce somebody into love. That's not true love. If we were forced to love God, then that wouldn't be love. When we love the Creator, we will, by extension, love the creation. Now, what happened in the Garden of Eden? Mankind turned away from loving the truth, from loving God and the way that things were created to be, choosing decisions that went against the natural order. There is a natural order to things, a way things ought to be. And when we turn away from that natural order, the result is chaos. And when we turn towards those things, the result is harmony. We have all experienced this. I mean, when we follow the truth, now I'm not talking about subjective truth, but objective truth, not the truth that is good for you, such as a preference on how you like your tacos prepared, but objective, that is true for everyone. When we follow objective truth, we have this desire that is satisfied. We feel fulfilled. There's the harmony, joy, and peace that is brought about by God because He is truth itself. Truth consists of all the good decisions that are aligning us with the way creation was intended to operate. When we willingly go against that, we are choosing something not as good as the ultimate good. God is all good, and there is nothing that has been created that is not good. God didn't create evil, for example. Rather, I would suggest that evil is simply a privation of good, an absence of good. In a similar way, darkness is merely the absence of light. So when you don't choose the path of the good, we're selecting something that is missing the fullest capacity and potential for what it could be by nature. Now, how do we see this play out in real life? Take, for example, the traffic laws. The way things ought to be is that, well, in America at least, you're driving on the right-hand side of the road. That's good. It's also going to get you to where you need to be the quickest way because you have all of the traffic laws and flow of traffic working in your favor. If you were to be driving against the flow of traffic on the left-hand side of the road, for example, in America, you are probably going to have a tough time getting where you need to be because that's not the way the road was designed to work. You are choosing a lesser good, which is limiting you from the fullest potential you can take and that you can have as a driver, and the freedom that comes with driving when you obey the traffic laws. Take another example, cooking meat. We usually cook meat with heat. This is the normal way we would cook meat, and meat comes out the best when we follow this order. We have a lot of freedom to make the meat the way that we want by cooking this way. Now, if we were to cook with ice, not the way cooking meat was designed to work. So we won't get very far in making the meat edible for us. Another example, soccer, right? We score on the other goal. That's the path to a successful game. If we go against the proper flow of the game and we score on our own goal, well, you're going against the objective of the game. So what's the big picture anyway? What did God have in mind when He created things? My thoughts are this, that God created creation out of His goodness in an act of pure love. Our response to that pure love would be to live out our fullness in everything that we do as a perfect reflection of that pure love to those around us. If every person were to place every other person above themselves and committed to loving everyone else perfectly, the way that God loves us, that is the big picture plan that God has in mind. Imagine what the world would be like if everyone in it understood this truth, that we were created from love and for love in its purest form, and we all took an active approach to spreading that message and living it out. Now, we know we were created from love because of the pure fact that we're here. God doesn't need us. He has no need of us because He's perfect. There's nothing that we add to His perfection. He doesn't lack anything. He didn't create us because He lacked something. The very fact that we exist, that you exist, is showing that God is love in its purest form because He only wants what's best for you. Now, we catch glimpses of that throughout life, and we know the joy that it brings to our life. What if we were to experience that in the fullest way that God intended things to be? See, the problem is we prevent this from happening. We constantly choose the less good. We constantly choose to love ourselves over others and selecting a worldview that is backwards of the right order of creation. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try and do our part to spread this message. That is what Christianity is all about. That's what this human thing is all about. And I would submit to you that that is the big picture that God had in mind. The purpose in your life is to see how you can apply this in every area of your life. From all of us here at Practical Theism, we'll catch you next time.